If you think abandoned buildings are creepy, you've clearly never stepped inside one that was once guarded by the government. These aren't just dusty warehouses with peeling paint. These are places that held secrets, and in some cases, still might. Some sit in plain sight, others are hidden so deep you could drive past them every day and never know what's inside. And while the public may think they're just old and closed, the reality is far more unnerving. Because these aren't just ruins. They're the leftover bones of power, secrecy, and paranoia. Let's start with one that's buried so far below ground. You could scream your lungs out and no one would hear. Tunnels snaking for miles, thick steel blast doors, and a stale metallic smell that hits you the second you step inside. This was a place meant to survive nuclear war, while the rest of the world burned. That's right. It's the Cheyenne Mountain Complex's forgotten sectors in Colorado. The main part of the facility still hums with life, but hidden offshoots and unused corridors, they've been sealed for decades, frozen in time with Cold War maps still on the walls. These empty halls weren't abandoned because they were useless, they were abandoned because they were too dangerous to keep open. Too many secrets carved into the rock. Then there's a place where nature has slowly taken over. But the silence doesn't feel peaceful. It feels watched. Trees pierce through crumbling concrete. Wind rattles loose sheets of metal. Somewhere in the shadows, rusting equipment still sits exactly where it was left decades ago. And that place is the Greenbrier bunker in West Virginia, the underground capital that was supposed to house Congress during nuclear war. The active parts have been turned into a tourist site, but deep in the restricted wings, you'll find untouched rooms with dusty phones, typewriters, and ration boxes stamped with dates from the 1960s. It's as if the evacuation order never came. Or maybe it did, and they just never made it here. But if you want to talk about eerie, let's head to a facility where time hasn't just stopped. It's been preserved like an insect in amber. Every file, every desk, every clock, still exactly where it was when the last person walked out, and the reason they walked out? Classified. That's right, it's RAF Upper Heyford's hardened aircraft shelters in England. Left behind after the Cold War, these concrete beasts were designed to withstand bomb blasts. Now they sit empty, the floors littered with forgotten maintenance manuals, and the walls stained with decades of jet fuel fumes. People say if you walk the hangars alone, you can hear footsteps following you, but there's never anyone there. By the way, if creepy travel spots are your thing, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to Travel Pug, so you don't miss the next time we wander somewhere we probably shouldn't. So, where were we? Of course, not all abandoned government sites are underground or hidden behind fences. Some are right there in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by nothing but miles of open land, and that somehow makes them creepier. Picture rows of windowless buildings, each identical, each locked tight, with strange numbers stenciled above the doors. No signs, no explanation, just there. That place is the Nevada test site's shuttered nuclear villages. These fake towns were built to see how homes and storefronts would fare against atomic blasts. Now they're abandoned shells. Mannequins still standing in living rooms, scorched curtains hanging in windows. The quiet out here is so absolute, you start to imagine you can hear Geiger counters ticking. Then there's the one that feels like a ghost ship stranded on land. A sprawling facility with endless hallways, all of them dimly lit, all of them leading nowhere. The air is thick, damp, and smells faintly of chemicals. And that's the Johnston Atoll Chemical Agent Disposal Facility in the Pacific. Once used to store and destroy some of the most dangerous substances ever made, it was abandoned after cleanup. But you can't just clean a place like this. Locals say the ground itself feels wrong, like it's holding on to what was buried here. Not all of these facilities were built for war. Some were built for control. Imagine a vast underground grid of rooms, each lined with filing cabinets, each drawer stuffed with paper, records of lives, movements, whispers. And yet, when the place was shut down, they didn't burn it all. They just left. That's right. It's the Stasi Records bunker in Germany. When East Germany collapsed, the secret police abandoned this archive. Thousands of files still sit in the dark, their paper yellowed, the ink fading, but the words dangerous as ever. But if you want something that looks straight out of a horror movie, there's a site where the walls sweat in the summer and frost over in winter, no matter the weather outside. The floor is littered with broken machinery, its purpose long forgotten, and the ceiling drips with condensation. That place is the Diefenbunker's sealed lower levels in Canada. While parts of this nuclear shelter have been turned into a museum, entire sections remain locked off, their contents never cataloged. Some say even staff aren't allowed in, not because it's unsafe, but because it's better not to know. Now picture a complex so isolated it feels like it exists outside time. No cell signal, no road noise, just the constant hum of wind. Buildings stand with their doors wide open, yet inside nothing's been touched. No graffiti, no vandalism, just waiting. That's the Camden Naval Air Station's forgotten radar domes in Maine. These massive white spheres once scanned the skies for incoming bombers. Now they sit cracked and peeling, the radar equipment inside still towering over empty floors. But perhaps the eeriest of them all is one where the line between abandoned and active is so blurred you can't tell which is which. A place where some lights still flicker, some cameras still move, but you never see a soul. That's right. It's the Balkan network bunker in former Yugoslavia. Built to keep the country's leaders safe during nuclear war, it was abandoned after the fall of the government. But rumors say parts of it are still used for meetings that don't appear on any schedule. And finally, the one that might haunt you the most, because unlike the others, this one wasn't shut down decades ago. It was shut down recently. The hallways still smell faintly of coffee. Desks are still stacked with papers. The last calendar pages still hang on the wall. And that place is in the Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center's decommissioned wings in Virginia. The public areas remain active, but behind locked blast doors are corridors that haven't been touched since the day the staff walked out. Some say that day came without warning. These places aren't just forgotten. They're reminders. Reminders of what governments built when they thought the world might end tomorrow. Reminders of secrets kept, lies told, and the lengths humans will go to feel safe in an unsafe world. They're not theme parks. They're not movie sets. They're real. They're still standing. And in some cases, they're still watching.